Adjectives. What is an adjective? An adjective is a descriptive word used to modify a noun or a pronoun. Is that reasonably correct? Give me an example of an adjective in English. Pretty. Large. Good. All right, we're going to start with good because good is an easy word in Hebrew as well, and you'll be getting into some adjectives now in the vocabulary in lesson 11. Okay? I'm going to talk about two things you got to know. Adjectives, the form, how do they occur, how do they appear, and their function. Now, let's talk about the form of adjectives. What would you think in a language where at least you have some endings to distinguish masculine, feminine, singular, plural? Adjectives go with nouns. They agree with the nouns they modify. This all makes sense. It's the same thing in Greek. Okay? So that if you have a masculine singular noun and it's modified by an adjective, the adjective must also appear in form to be masculine singular. Now, unlike Greek, we don't have case endings to worry about, nominative, genitive, dative, accusative sorts of things, but we do have number and gender. However, the number and gender of the adjective in terms of its appearance is exactly what you have already learned. Okay? So nothing new here. If we were to take a common adjective, and a good example simply because it's common, it's easy, and it's completely regular in form, the adjective tov, which is the word for good. Good. All right, and God saw everything that it was tov. Good. A masculine singular adjective will have the same ending as a masculine singular noun. What ending does a masculine singular noun have? There ain't no such ending, okay? So we got nothing there. However, if we were not talking about a good man, but we were talking about a few good men, we would now have the plural masculine form of man, which is men, and it would be modified by the adjective not just tov, but tovim. Nothing new here, pretty simple stuff. Okay? What if we were talking about a good woman? She would be a woman, a tova one, right? No tricks there. And if we were talking about good women, we would be talking about women who are tovoth. All right? Again, no tricks here, nothing new. You already know this stuff. Okay? Let me give you a second example with a different adjective, however. Another very common adjective is the adjective gadol. Gadol is the adjective big. Sort of your all-purpose adjective for large size. So it can mean big, it can mean great, it can mean large. All right, gadol. Now, what if we were talking about great men? What would the plural masculine form of gadol be? Well, what should we do? We should take gadol and add im. All right? Now, I'm doing this as a separate entry simply because there's a minor additional problem, something you already know. If the form is gadol, how many syllables do we have in this adjective? Two. I mean, tov only had one, so that was real easy. Now we have an adjective that's got two syllables. When we add an ending like im, how many syllables do we have? Three. We better count syllables. Instead of gadol, we have gadolim, tonic, pretonic, propretonic, comets, goes to schwa in the propretonic. Nothing new. Same stuff. You know how to do this. Okay? So if we were talking about a big woman, just let it go. She would be a woman, a great one. She would be a woman, a gedola one, right? And the form of gadol would still have the schwa there. In other words, we have to worry about propretonic vowel reduction in adjectives in the same way as we worried about it with nouns, but you already know this. Okay? All right, that's it. This isn't rocket science. It's simply applying stuff you already know. That's all there really is to know. There's always a few kind of irregular things we'll pick up as we get along, as we go to it. But that's all you really need to know about form. The adjectives appear in the same form, that is, the gender endings, gender and number, masculine, singular, masculine, feminine, singular, plural, as the nouns you already know. Now, the second question is the function of adjectives.